We're talking about Donnie J. Trump. You may have noticed we're missing two more hosts today. They couldn't make it, unfortunately, because they are bums. So it's just going to be me and Tito.
It's the green.
Yeah, the show must go on. There's a lot of things going on in the news right now with Mr. Trump. You know, with the debate that happened, him not paying taxes, and of course him getting the coronavirus.
Coronavirus! Shit is real! Shit is getting real! Shit is real!
That to get the
That's gonna be a
coronavirus.
ploy. He sounded perfectly fine when he was talking.
Yeah,
No symptoms. He's gonna recover very quickly, according to the news. So I'm not convinced.
you would think he'd be like,
In bed, like in a hospital bed.
or like even during the debate, he'd be a little bit weaker. The man's almost 80. He's almost 80.
Yeah, he's
And
pushing.
He was all over the place on that debate. That debate was just like a fucking train wreck. Like,
Yeah, that was a shit show.
like we didn't get any answers to anything. Like I didn't
At
get.
all. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not convinced with what they're doing, what they're saying. I don't like either candidate. And then you have the argument from, if you vote for Trump, you're racist. We need to vote for Biden, but Biden wants to increase all these taxes. So it's like it's a lose-lose situation. So you can't really get mad at people for picking either one.
And then like with the whole taxes thing, because I know Donnie only paid like $750, not even a grand. He paid $750 in what was it, income taxes?
Yeah, it was impressive to me, honestly.
I mean, obviously the man doesn't really know how to do taxes. It's it's the people doing his taxes that really know their shit.
Exactly.
Like, they know their shit. He probably hired people from MIT and Harvard and Yale to do his taxes, and everybody's jumping on his throat like, "Yo, you didn't pay income." It's like, bro, like it's not his fault that his fucking CPAs are fucking beast mode and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
when they were asking him in regards to the taxes, he said he paid millions of dollars. So that kind of threw me off. So I don't know where I really don't know where the 750 is coming from. If he's over here saying that he's been paying millions of dollars in taxes and stuff.
well, there's probably like separate taxes. Like, of course, like everybody's concentrate on the income tax. Income tax, but we all know there's like other forms of tax that you have to pay. But everybody's really concentrating on the income. I had somebody telling me, "Oh, but he has all this real estate. How you gonna tell me he only made $750?" I'm like, well, I mean, you gotta think about the upkeep. Maybe he probably expenses everything from like the fucking coffee that he buys to
his hairstylist.
Everything he touches is expensed. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know how he got away with it, but I really want to know his methods because I want to expense some shit. I'm trying to expense my fucking house since I've been working from home for 6 months. Like, can't I expense my doo-doo water? Like, what?
I mean, that's the bad part. I mean, you can't because you need to have a business. You need to have some sort of like LLC or corporation where you can start deducting these costs.
Donald Trump probably got an LLC for like every code for every car he has. He has an LLC for everything. So that way he's always in an office somewhere, everywhere, and he's expensing everything.
But you know why everybody gets mad? And it's like because they don't understand how it works. It's like there's so many ways for you to create it. To create an LLC is only $500.
Right.
It's not hard to do, but nobody's, if they don't teach you how to do it, you're obviously not going to know. But like you said, what does Donald Trump? He probably just knows through his CPAs.
Yeah.
So he gets all the information from them. And if they tell him, hey, you can pay less taxes by doing XYZ, everybody would do it. Why not?
Everyone would do it. Every single person would do it. It's just that people are not knowledgeable. Most people do their TurboTax and then they still get fucked up because they don't know what they're doing.
And if they're giving you TurboTax, you know that they're not gonna give you everything. They're just gonna let you deduct whatever they want you to deduct. But I'm sure you're missing out on a lot of deductions that TurboTax probably doesn't even include. So I never touched TurboTax.
So everybody's jumping on his dick. I'm pretty sure he has paid millions of dollars in taxes. It's just that those are like what, federal and state taxes. And just the income tax alone, because his CPAs and everybody who works under him are so knowledgeable, he got away with just paying $750. I mean, you can't blame the guy if the law is the law and he didn't get fucked up because of it. I mean, what can you do? You're gonna get mad at somebody for obeying the law? Come on.
But then the question is that fair? Like, you have all these, millions of middle class employees. You got your minimum wage working employees paying all these taxes, getting nowhere. So it's like people are obviously going to get mad if somebody's rich or wealthy, making all this money and they find ways to not pay taxes. Do you really blame the people for getting mad?
It's like, that's a good question. Is it fair? Now, let's take an analogy.
Right.
Let's say I'm really good at shooting 3-pointers.
But you're not, but yeah.
Okay. Let's say I'm really good at shooting 3-pointers. I can shoot them from half court and you can't.
Right.
Now, according to the game, I could just shoot 3-pointers the whole game and win the game. Is it fair? Yes, because it's within the rules. Just because you don't know how to do it or unable to do it doesn't make it unfair. Like, everyone has access to the same laws. It's not like Donald Trump has special laws that are only available to him.
Right.
Everyone has the same laws.
Right.
So everyone can do it. It's just that people don't know how, and they get mad when they see someone who can. And it's kind of like, it's not unfair. It's just, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, bro.
Right. So for the audience, I mean, from what I know, I'm not a specialist or tax specialist, but I know the way it works. For an example, if you have an LLC, right, you pay $500, create whatever, let's call it a social media agency company, right? Now you have a business. So now you have this business and you have expenses for that business. So now you have, your regular internet bill, let's say your cell phone bill, you have your house. So maybe let's say you set off a section that you want to call the office space where you can actually, take care of business. You have your computer, you buy a nice laptop, a nice monitor, you buy everything nice. But now you have these reoccurring expenses that now appear as corporate expenses, right? So now, for an example, if you make $100,000 that year, right, you can expense, let's say if it's $2,000 a month that you have to pay in all these expenses. So now you can expense $24,000. So now, instead of you getting taxed on $100,000, you deduct the $24,000 in your reoccurring expenses. Let's say you have another $6,000 in rent. Now you can expense $30,000. So instead of you getting taxed off $100,000, you can get taxed off $70,000. So you're technically paying less taxes, and that's how that works. But obviously, Donald Trump, they're expensing literally everything from his hairstyle to his chauffeur, and those are technically expenses, but you can argue in. But if you can get away with it, why not?
Yeah, and people are gonna say, well, why does that even work? Why does that exist? Well, the reason why businesses are able to expense these sort of things is really because of small businesses. An incentive to get small businesses to grow. The government made these tax brackets or these things expenses, so that way a small company can grow without affecting like their income. So if all your money's going into building your small business to grow, the government's going to be like, what, you're building your business, we're going to give you, these breaks and stuff. And these breaks are also used by bigger corporations. It's not just the little guy, it's not just the big guy, it's everyone. So it's just an incentive for more companies to grow, to make more jobs, to basically grow the GPD of the United States. So it's actually very beneficial. when there's like stuff like that, because it incentivizes people to grow their business. So
right. No, it makes sense, but it's like people are gonna be like, well, is it fair if I don't want to become a business owner? I don't want to be an entrepreneur. I just want to collect the check. That's when you have the people that are like, oh, well, that's not fair to me. But it's like, create a business, and if that's not fair to you,
yeah, that's like saying it's not fair that LeBron James is making $14 million a year. It's not fair.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is, because he's playing basketball. If you want to play basketball and do it, just fucking do it. Like,
right.
No one's stopping you. But
at the end of the day, you can't get mad at it. I mean, if anything, learn from that. I mean, you can get mad all you want, but if there's somebody out there, not paying taxes legally, ask how. That should be a question. How did he do it? How can I do it too? So
people are asking the wrong questions right now. But as far as the debate goes,
man,
did you watch the whole debate though?
I couldn't. Like, I felt so disappointed and embarrassed. Like, it was like, I couldn't even take it serious, and I couldn't even hear half the things that they were saying. Like Donald Trump would interrupt Biden like every 2 seconds, then Biden would interrupt Trump like every 5 seconds. So it was like, to me, it was just like a little kid battle. Like, it wasn't even a debate in my opinion.
Yeah, it was like half the time it's like, it's my turn. It's my turn.
It's my turn. Let me talk. Then you got the mediator like, guys, I'm getting mad. Stop. Let him speak.
It was such a wash. It was just like, it was a waste of time. I didn't even watch it live. I watched it on YouTube like the day after, because I was like, I'm not staying up to watch this shit. I'm gonna watch it, or I'm gonna listen to it while I'm like driving into work or some shit. It was a complete waste of time. But now that even the president has coronavirus, I don't know what to think about it. You got the coronavirus, and it sounds like he's about to, jump out the hospital in a couple of days. It sounds like they gave him the vaccine. So,
I mean, I was expecting Biden to come out with the whole coronavirus.
What do you mean, like him to get it?
So to avoid the debate, I wasn't expecting him to be in the debate, because he's been so low key. Like, he hasn't really been exposing himself that much. He's been a little bit more conservative. From what I've seen, Trump is out, doing these campaigns with a lot of people. Biden is a little bit more conservative in that aspect. So I felt like they were gonna make an excuse that he wasn't gonna be able to do debates.
I mean, they were telling him not to do the debate because, Trump, he's not really a debater. He's just gonna trample over you with repetitive shit, and that's kind of like his strategy. Trump isn't really a good debater. Like, he'll just lie straight up in your face, and like, it doesn't even matter. Like, it's tough debating someone who just doesn't give a fuck. It's kind of pointless. It's when you argue with a stupid person, they'll bring you down to their level, and they'll beat you with experience.
Yeah. It's a strategy. I mean, you gotta do what you can. If that's your strength, and get stupid and hit him with experience.
So now that Trump got the coronavirus and he got the vaccine, does that encourage you to take the vaccine also?
I don't know. I don't think I would take the vaccine, because, I mean, with me personally, anytime I take the regular flu vaccine, I get sick. So to me, it's like, I don't take it. I know some people that they take it and they're perfectly fine, but then there's other people that get it and then they just get the flu, and I'm one of those people. So I mean, the last time I got the flu shot was probably like 5-6 years ago, but I've never gotten one ever since, and I've never had the flu. So to me, I'm indifferent. I don't feel like I would take it. I would rather feel more comfortable with more people taking it, seeing if there's any symptoms or anything like that, but let it, maybe like a year or two. But I'm not convinced.
I'm like limited in my knowledge of vaccines, but from what I can recall, like the regular flu, there's like different strands that exist and that propagate throughout the population. And what scientists do is they take I think probably 3 or 4 of the ones that they're predicting will be the most prevalent within the communities, and they'll take those 4 or 5 strands and they'll create vaccines for those specific strands. So some people, even though if they get the vaccine, right, they'll get the vaccines for those top 5 strands, but then they'll be like, oh, it didn't even work because I got sick anyway. Well, it's because you got sick with a strand that the scientists didn't think you were going to get, or didn't think that was going to propagate, largely. But it's really like, it's a really highly educated guessing game, right, in terms of like thinking, okay, which strand is going to be the toughest. So people may think that these flu shots don't work. They actually do work. There's like a high success rate, but sometimes you get hit with a completely different strand of the flu. We have to remember that evolution is real, and it does happen even on a small scale. So these viruses mutate from human to human.
But how about these people that say that they don't want to do vaccines at all? Like they're anti-vaccines, anti-this. They don't want people to be forced to put anything in their body. Like, do you agree with them or disagree with them? Like, how do you feel?
I agree with them. I think it's your body. I don't think anyone or any government should force you to take anything that you don't want to take. I completely agree with that. I just don't agree with what they say about it. Like, oh, it causes like what I don't know. I forget what disease or whatever they say it causes. Yeah. I don't think it was like some form of like mental disability. I forget.
ADHD.
No. I forget. But they say it causes like weird side effects, and it does. Like, science, especially in terms of vaccines and our biology, we're chemistry set, and every chemistry set, every person is a little bit different. So a vaccine won't necessarily work the same way it works for you or for me, because everyone is different pH levels and stuff like that. Right. That's why some people are allergic to nuts and others are allergic to lactose, because not everyone's the same in terms of like biology. So but yeah, like I completely agree. If you don't want to take the vaccine, whatever, man, like it's your funeral.
But you think they're gonna force it like on people, especially like in schools, because they're mandating the kids to get them for their protection?
They mandated
the flu shot, just the regular flu shot.
Yeah, I think a lot of vaccines are mandated for children to go to school. Not only the vaccine.
Yeah, there's other ones too.
So like if you're okay with vaccinating your kids for the measles and stuff like that,
the
tetanus, then what's one more? Like what's the big deal? Like what's more? Like I know there's like some people like, oh, it's a thing. They're gonna start tracking you. It's like devil, or I don't know. There's like a controversy.
The theories.
But then it's like, well, if that's the case, they don't need a flu. They could just put it in the vaccines we already take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what's interesting too? I just remembered, like when I was a kid, I had the chicken pox, and it was bad. Like I had it, my brother had it, my little brother had like the shingles on his hand.
Yep.
But it's like ever since I guess they created a vaccine for it, my kids don't have it. I don't really hear of chicken pox anymore.
Nah, it's because of herd. It's called herd immunity. When you get enough of the population to have an immunity and to be vaccinated against it, the disease will just like gradually die out. I mean, there's a lot of like disease like polio, syphilis, the measles, all those like diseases and viruses are dying out because of herd immunity. Right. Now, like you got to remember, like back in even 200 years ago, there was like an 80% chance of dying from like the measles, and now it's like non-existent. So it's like really good. Like we got to remember what these diseases do to especially infants. Like if an infant gets like, I think the measles, man, that could mess up their brain to like it's just crazy, the side effects. I would rather give my child a vaccine to fight polio than for them to have even a chance at having polio or measles, because it could mess up your brain. You're talking about mental disabilities, physical disabilities. Like I don't know. It's tough out in these streets, man.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's just, I hear all these arguments, and then you see, these posts where, millions, they compare like the death rate of COVID versus like other death rates from other
Oh yeah.
Diseases like H1N1, the Spanish flu, and it's like they were different eras. You know, like we didn't have the technology we have now, the science we have now, the vaccines we have now. So obviously, more people were gonna die back then. So the fact that with COVID, it's mixed for me because, fortunately for me, like I didn't have anybody close to me die from COVID. I think that would have probably changed my mind if somebody like was close to me and had it. But the fact that there's a huge rate of people that are recovering, that to me speaks volume too. A lot of people are getting it, but there's a huge recovery rate. So it's like, when do we really say, okay, it's over? Like, we don't need to wear the mask. We can go back to normal, because eventually you do want to get to that level.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a couple of years. They were predicting the end of 2021, maybe mid 2022.
Yeah,
it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's not even going to be within this year. Definitely not. Like, but it's like what you're saying. Like, I feel like I think it was necessary to do all these like precautionary stuff to ban traveling and stuff like that, because you got to remember the Spanish flu, right, wiped out like 50 to 100 million people, and that was back then when there was like almost no airplanes, no transportation and stuff like that, and you still got 100 million people dying. That's crazy. So imagine that sort of virus attacking our civilization today, where we're traveling all over the place. So they had to do what they had to do to like really prevent a huge Spanish flu type of ordeal. But I think the target of this virus are people with just weak immunity systems.
Yeah, and other complications too. Yeah, you have people with diabetes, heart diseases, and it's like, you really got to take that into account. And everybody was not even focusing on their immune system. They were just, we need to get canned food. We need to stay indoors.
I need toilet paper. I need toilet paper.
Yo, remember? Yeah, toilet paper was gone. I couldn't get toilet paper for like months. I had to use baby wipes.
People were out buying guns. We talk about martial law. Like 9 months later.
Now everybody's more calm now.
What happened?
Where you at?
What happened to the martial law, man? I'm still waiting for all these fucking things to happen, man. Silly ass shit.
Don't even get us started with the 5G towers.
Oh, yes,
it was all over, dude.
Please, they're gonna do the same thing with 6G towers.
Yeah,
and then the same thing with 7G towers. Oh, the end. We know it. But if the vaccine comes out, I'm gonna let the betas test.
Yeah, the regular flu didn't work for me, so I'm not gonna take my chances. Yeah,
I never take the flu shot to begin with.
Me either.
I'm just like, whatever. If I get it, I get it. That's like PTO for me.
Sure. Pay time off.
I just take
for those who didn't know.
I take time off and I'm an expensive.
Yeah, right.
But
LLC.
But yeah, Trump is just getting bashed for like all this stupid shit. And I don't particularly like the guy. Like all this like everybody was like, yo, just say that white supremacy is bad. He couldn't even do that. I'm like, man, just fucking do it, bro. But
yeah,
whatever. He's a racist or whatever. I don't know. I don't care.
Okay.
The whole taxes thing, that's something separate. Like he did a good job on his taxes. He may be a racist ass motherfucker, but
he got his taxes right.
He knows his people got his taxes right, bro.
Yeah. So if anything, we feel like you guys should just learn from it.
Yeah.
Take advantage of this. Take advantage of it. It's available to you. So it's like, you want to create an LLC, you want to create a corporation, go ahead and do it. Get some tax reductions and contact your local CPA or accountant. See what you can get.
So that's our episode for today. Let us know what you think. Are you gonna take the coronavirus vaccine? Let us know. Are you gonna get a better CPA?
You might want to.
you might want to. You're paying too much in your taxes, bro.
Yeah.
If you're working from home, figure some shit out. Start an LLC. I'm about to do that shit. I don't want to pay any income tax next year. What? That's crazy. But like this video, subscribe to our page, and we'll keep you posted on the next video. We out.
We out,
man. Ooh.
Oh shit! All right.
Shit, man. I need to take a shit.
I know.
I was drinking too much coffee.